am Jennifer Brazer, the author of From Cubicle to Cloud. And I have Evelyn Poplin with me today. She's read her chapter 1 and she's done the pen to paper exercise. And she's going to share with us some of her findings and ideas. Evelyn, thank you so much for joining us today.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
We really appreciate having you. And Evelyn is the owner of Yellow Cactus Company, and she's also an agent with Keller Williams alongside of her husband. So she has lots of ideas around marketing and the real estate industry. So I'm really curious to hear what you've learned. But first, just to our listeners, you can go to jenniferbrazer.com and you can ask for that chapter 1 and that first pen to paper exercise yourself and submit it to me for a chance to have a one-on-one like Evelyn's having today. And today is a very big day because I just got my advanced reader copy of the book in the mail. I'm so excited to become a published author. It's such an honor, and it's an honor to share my strategies with all of you entrepreneurs. You're so brave and bold. Evelyn, tell us a little bit about what you discovered in the chapter and some of your ideas around the pen to paper exercise.
Sure. I really enjoyed reading the chapter. It was easy to read. It was entertaining. It had some humor and a lot of great insight on, the transition to a more virtual, less face-to-face, but just as interactive and service-oriented type of business model. So I really appreciated that and have seen a lot of these ideas that you presented in your book actually being brought into fruition, especially during this time in the real estate business. So it was really cool to see just some of the progression that you spoke about in the book actually coming to life and being applied in our industry.
And what are some of those strategies that you're seeing?
Yeah, so especially during this time of COVID, we've seen a lot of virtual tours, a lot of online scheduling for showings, a lot of virtual showings, a lot of different applications, whether that's applications on your phone or your computer, being used to enter homes and show off homes to clients who are looking to move from out of state or even in state, but are not feeling comfortable in entering an occupied home themselves. We've also seen a lot of virtual tour companies accelerating their amount of business in the real estate field, selling their softwares to realtors or their services to realtors, mapping out the house virtually, which allows then potential buyers to basically walk through a house without actually attending the physical space, but virtually walking through it, looking in each room on their computers. So there's been a lot of that as well. Almost every listing that you see nowadays that is marketed well has that virtual tour option for people. So we're
Interesting. I love that you say that is marketed well, because that is part of your expertise on your resume. And, not everyone is really embracing these tools that are out there. And I think in this time, we've really had a big push because it's embrace it or die in a lot of cases. And I think that what we're beginning to realize as entrepreneurs is that this cloud thing is going to happen. It's not a matter of whether it will, it's a matter of when it will happen and what we're going to do with it. So,
absolutely. That's another thing I've seen is, my husband and I will perform open houses for a wide variety of homes from $1.7 million homes in Zilker Park to, $320,000 in South Austin. But what we've seen is that whoever shows up at the open houses, when we ask them, hey, did you come by because you saw our signs, or did you see us see the listing online? And everybody's response, or almost everybody's response, is either that their real estate agent has sent them the listing, which is probably about 10% of them, and the rest of the 90%, I'd say the rest of the 85%, if not more, have seen it on Zillow or Realtor.com or Trulia or whatever real estate site. So they're already using applications on their phones to find and locate open houses and potential homes. This is the majority of people looking for homes these days. They're not getting it from their realtors, or they are, but they're using the app to map out where to go, to find the open houses, to look at homes without their realtors. And so we're really seeing the majority of society really leaning towards those types of visuals and information collecting activities, being more one-on-one, solo based, not paper but more on a screen. And so that's what we're seeing most of the time.
Very cool. Well, it's happening and it sounds like the market is demanding it. And if you're going to be successful and have a continued success in this industry, you really have to get on board. So it's very exciting to be having some ideas around that and expanding upon them. And I think it's not just that the tools are out there, but it's really having the courage to pick them up, learn about them, and decide what tools you're going to use in your particular model based on how you want to position yourself and brand yourself as an agent.
That's very true. And in addition to that, what tools will you then share with your clients? Because what I've seen in my many years of marketing and sales is that the newer generations, the upcoming generations, the generations that are now coming into, home ownership, business ownership, they're wanting to learn on their own. They want to independently research, and they want the tools themselves as well. So, another thing, that I've seen and adopted for myself is sharing really great calculators from different financial lenders that I found very valuable to myself as a realtor, but sharing that with clients that they can find out what it would look like if they chose to refinance. What would it look like to buy instead of rent in the next year? What interest rates? What would their mortgage payments be? What would be the best investment to make? And to allow our clients access to those types of tools so that they can kind of play around with it themselves and collect information and gain some insight on their own has also been a really cool tool too.
That is so empowering too, because it really, when you give somebody something like that, now they're able to make a better, smarter decision for themselves. And because you were that resource, then of course that positions you as the expert and someone who recognizes what their needs are at this phase in their life when they're considering whether or not to make a purchase. So very powerful.
Right. Recognizing something valuable and not only applying it to your own business and to your own strategy, but also sharing things of value with other people, really bring you into that spotlight of being the expert and really make them feel empowered, like you said, but also confident in what you're doing for them.
Right, absolutely. That builds trust, and that trust bond is so important when you're dealing with relationships. I just think that a lot of companies that have adopted the cloud early have really pushed that technology side. They're leveraging AI, but sometimes they forget that really at the base, at the core is that relationship. That's ever so important. That's where the trust is.
So true.
So, Evelyn, where could viewers get in touch with you if they wanted to?
You can find us on Google, Evelyn and Kevin Poplin. You could also look us up on Facebook. We have our Kevin and Evelyn Poplin / Keller Williams agent website, our Facebook page rather. And we also have a LinkedIn page. So all the social media handles and Google. You can also reach out to us at poplin@kw.com or give us a call.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for participating today. It was so fun to hear your ideas and hear about how the industry is evolving. You definitely are a nimble innovator. It sounds like you're really on the cutting edge, and I'm super excited to see what you do with the business as you move forward and what ideas you have as you move through the book from cubicle to cloud. For those that are watching, if you really want to take a deeper dive into the book, then definitely go to that jenniferbrazer.com site. Make sure your name's on the list, and we'll let you know as soon as it publishes. We are on Amazon.com for pre-orders right now, so you can go make your pre-order and you will get it shipped to you on our publish date in late January. And we also are setting up some workshops in 2021. Hopefully, we'll be able to do some in person, but either way, we will have workshops where we have several entrepreneurs that are really thinking about leveraging the cloud as a platform in their industry. And we're going to do some brainstorming and do some pen to papers together to help you to develop your model. So watch for that as well. Thank you so much for watching today. Thank you again, Evelyn.
Absolutely. Thank you, Jennifer.
Take care.
Bye bye.